I am super excited. This is the Lynn and Debbie show. Welcome, my beautiful hostess with the
Hello, my
mostest.
beautiful, fabulous, and beautiful.
Fabulous and beautiful. That's right. I am super excited. I only just momentarily met our guest today, and she's amazing, and I love her already. I can't wait to get this party started. And
Yes.
she's so amazing and so talented that this little intro I did with Debbie's help will tell you if this does not set the tone of how beautiful this lady is, then I guess you better go get your pulse
Yeah,
checked.
get
Because,
ready.
yeah.
Tonya Lowe-Winfield. She'll tell it to you straight. She's got God in her heart and a voice of an angel.
Absolutely, and we'll be right back. Let's do our little intro. We'll be right back after. We're so excited. We just want to go about hers, but let's introduce our show. See, that music's supposed to get us started, but Tonya got me started before I even heard that. So that's why I was like, forget about our intro. Let's just go to her.
Let's go to Tonya right away. We don't need all this stuff. And she only has 30 minutes, so we got to let her do her thing.
I know, right? So I'm going to shut up. I'm going to sit back here and I'm going to do this little intro. And then we're going to have this beautiful spirit on our stage here. So we'll be right back. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Tonya, welcome to the Lynn and Debbie show. We are so honored and blessed that you are here and to know that this is the first time you've ever done live too, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm honored.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. And we know your time is of essence. So Debbie and I are just going to sit back seat here and enjoy the front view to an amazing soul. But speaking of your soul, we got to ask this quick question, don't we?
Yes, we do. Have you always sang?
Yes, I have. Actually, my mom and dad, my mother especially, pushed me into taking different classes and singing lessons, not so much to sing, but to, develop the craft, basically, develop how things and, inflection and pronunciation and different things. And, whatever goes with music, she made sure that I did that. So, yeah, always sang with a group of people or a background singer, choirs. I mean.
Okay. That I know that we should properly, because people don't know who you are. We're going to give you the center stage here for you to explain who you are. But I think Debbie will do justice by how she came to know who you are and let you go. So Debbie, take it away.
You know what? Let's just say, audience, whoever's listening and whomever will listen. I have only met Tonya Lowe-Winfield about a month ago, but I was invited to a sisterhood luncheon, which I was extremely honored to be invited to. And as you saw, I videoed her singing because I had chill bumps all over my body. You can take lessons all you want, but that's God-given, let me tell you. And it was an amazing event. And I got to talk to her afterwards. And I just enjoy her soul, her spirit, and what she stands for. And she gives it to you straight. She gave us a little bio that day about her life. So what I would like to do is zip it up and let everyone get a real
bird's eye.
Just be able to listen to you, Tonya. And Lynn's going to give you full screen, and you just tell us your story from where you want to start to where you want to finish. And if that's fine with you, let's let her go.
And remember, you are just speaking to us if that's what makes you feel better.
Yeah,
okay?
Just tell us an overview of your life and what has mattered most to you.
Well, what matters most to me are my children. My love for God, my love for my family. That's the most important things. Most of the time, what I do in my life is because of my children. I want them to be known as having a mother that pushes them to excellence, pushes them to do whatever is needed and whatever it takes to accomplish the goals they have set for themselves. So, and as far as family, I have a huge family. So, I think of them being my cheerleaders and them being in my corner and them showing the love, not always saying I love you, because, we're back in the day, you didn't always say that, but you knew that they loved each other and that we loved each other. But honoring God and doing what's the next right, best thing in my life for him, and taking care of my kids, honoring my husband, making sure that there's the needs and things he has, that I'm there for him as well as he is for me. I mean, just the family is the base of everything that I do.
What do you feel about, how was it growing up with 9 siblings?
I felt a lot of times I should be the only child. I'm just going to be real. I felt, why are they here? I love them. But sometimes it was like, why are they here? I should be the only person in this house with my mom and dad. But, sibling rivalries, always trying to one up each other with their mom and dad. I can recall Christmases when we were older that, we were all out of the house. And one Christmas, a brother bought a big old TV for my mom and dad. Next Christmas, one of us bought either a TV and the VCR, and then the next Christmas, it was like TV, VCR, suits for my dad, dresses for my mom, whatever. It was always somebody one-upping somebody to make sure their present was bigger each Christmas.
That's
so, yeah.
funny. That's
Yeah.
funny. Well, then that's pretty cute. What were you going to ask, Lynn?
I was going to say, so you're the oldest of all the kids?
Oh, no. I'm next to the baby.
Oh, okay. But you thought
No. Don't put that on me.
No.
Don't put that old. I'm fabulous at what I'm at my age right now.
No, but when you said you were the first, usually that's a firstborn kind of attitude, though. You know what I mean? Like I was here first, and that's my parent, and I don't know why you guys are here. So that's why I had to ask that question.
Well, no, this brings us to the next question, which is, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I've always wanted to be a princess, and that's the honest to God's truth. You can ask my kids, ask my son, my 16-year-old son, who's like, please don't get her started on what she wants to be or what she was, because he's like, he'll go, she wants to be a princess. She wanted to, that's what he starts doing. I'm like, stop it. Oh, Mom, show me a little bit of respect. I love you, but show me something. So yeah, I did as young, and I still think I don't do, and this is just me. I think my door should be open. I think my chair should be pulled out. I'm not going to get to do something that's going to make me dirty. It's not going to happen. So like my sisters and, when I moved into a home a few years back, my sisters and my brother came over there and they painted my house, did floors and carpets. And when I started to paint, they're like, put the paintbrush down, just put it down. Because I knew that I was going to make a mess. I was going to get it on me. So I was painting, like flopping it on the wall so that nothing would get on me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Princesses don't paint a paint.
No, girl. We don't. We hire somebody to do that. Somebody
needs to brush down. Put it down.
Somebody, I will pay you to come do it.
No, it's like I feel like this is going to be part of Disney or something. But as far as what's an inspiration, I mean, because there's princes in Disney there. But anyways.
Who has been an inspiration?
Oh my gosh. Well, my mother, I'll definitely say that. She worked, they were married, 50 plus years. My mom worked 3 days and she was a candy striper. And when the bedpan thing came along, she was like, I'm good. I'm going home. I'm not doing this anymore. So she worked 3 days and that was it. Because she had a bunch of kids. I mean, 10, there's 9 of us, 10 of us. So there's like, I can't do anything else but take care of kids. So she wasn't home.
Yeah.
But to see how she handled the house, how she handled the finances, how she handled the money, we didn't know that we didn't have a lot. It was never shown to us that there wasn't a whole lot at the time. It was always, we had what we wanted within means, trust me, we would have. And they took care of us. And we didn't know any different. So, my mom was my huge mentor. I have a mentor, my sisters, I can say they all are my mentors because my oldest sister is actually my pastor. And I can call her and be like, okay, this is a sissy thing. This is not a pastor thing. I need that question, and then my other sisters, they're like my cheerleaders. They really are. I mean, if I do something like the sister after her, Debbie, her name's Debbie too. Hey,
I like her.
Hey, Debbie, right? Anyway, so she is the one that anytime she has a company it's called Pickaway County African American Heritage Association here in Pickaway County. And every event that she has, I am a part of that event. So like April 30th, not to give a little plug in there, but April 30th, we're doing an event and I'm going to speak for her as well. But they support in whatever things that I do, they're there. I actually called them before I accepted your invitation, just to make sure. I'm like, is this cool? Well, should I do this? And my older sister's like, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
But what did your gut tell you, though? Your gut told you it was good, but then you were like, what would they going to think about it, right? Because I'm sure you had the gut feeling it was good.
When Debbie asked me, I was like, watching, and I call her Miss Fabulous because when I met her,
Sister Fabulous.
Yeah, no, I call her Miss Fabulous because that's a respect thing. If in the Black community, you call people Miss, like they call me Miss Tanya, Miss Paula, or whatever, because that's,
or in the South,
that's a respect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when I met Miss Debbie, the vernacular that I'm going to use is different. So she was on fleek. I'm just telling you. Her hair was dead. Her hat was on. She was like all hooked up. All the clothes was in place. And me and my friend who was at the event, she was like, oh, look at her. I said, oh, my God. I said, that is fabulous. And I started snapping up in the air like this. And she said, Miss Fabulous. I said, yes, that's what we're going to call her.
Oh.
So,
and did you call her that before you even knew that she had a book about?
No.
You called her that beforehand, or you already knew?
We didn't know she had a book until she started talking. This is when she first stood up.
Okay.
And her presence in the room was just like, oh my God, I want to be her.
Right.
I'm just saying, she just to me, and that's what I mean. When we were done, I went to her and we was talking actually in the room because my girlfriend was like, let's go back and talk and see what she's doing. I'm like, I want the book. I want the book. I want the book. I want to read the book. So yeah. I just think,
you see, so your gut knows good.
Yeah,
you already knew before.
I paid her to say this. No,
you did. And I was actually leery of you, Lynn, just to be honest, because I was like, I told Debbie, I don't know her.
I told her to tell you I was Puerto Rican, because then I'd be like, she know we get along. And, speaking of
that, then because here we sit with a Black woman, a Puerto Rican woman, and a white woman. One thing we all have in common is we're all women. Yes. But in your world, Tanya, have you had any obstacles of being a Black woman?
Girl.
We're going to get started on something really good here, and everybody's got to look at starting at 13 minutes, which 13 is a good number.
Yeah, we can. If we need to go a little longer, I'm good because I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, that person can wait till I'm ready for them to talk.
Okay, because Tanya, I mean, the cool thing is that it's funny because I relate to you when you got people that want to talk to you. You don't know, we're women, we're wise women in our 50s, we're going to claim it. And the bottom line is that we went through some stuff in our life. And, my first language is Spanish. Mm-hmm. And I had the choice. I wasn't born with Garcia or Hernandez as the last name. I had Serrano. So a lot of people didn't know. The joke was on them because I didn't get segregated. And I heard what people had to say about Hispanic people in Long Island. Yeah. So I knew the difference. I knew there was something different here. And so I didn't graduate out of school. It wasn't until Facebook, I think 2008, 2007, that my friends and I came out as the Puerto Rican goddess. I told them, they're like,
oh, girl.
And I'll tell you what, there's some people that said, you know a lot about whatever, but you know what? We've learned to love people despite anything else. So what I love here is that I could turn it on and off. Okay. If I got in the sun, you'd see I was Puerto Rican, but if I didn't get in the sun, you couldn't tell. Mm-hmm. You don't have that luxury. Yeah. So I want to give you the floor and tell you that sometimes I want to cry and say I'm shameful, or I didn't have pride in front. I didn't have the courage to stand up in front of people that were so racist that I grew up with. I didn't have that courage because I was trying to survive. I was trying to survive and just deal. But the one thing I did learn, that I got to learn to love a bunch of hypocrite people. And the joke was really on them, because I never stopped and said, you know what? You say you don't like a Puerto Rican, but you certainly love one. But I never said that. Why? Because I felt that there was no need to make somebody that didn't know any better feel worse.
Yeah.
And so I learned to love unconditionally without most people being racist. But then if they saw my sister and they saw my nieces and nephews, you know, that are half Black, then they'd be like, oh, so again, it wasn't the fact that I was, you know, offended by it. I just had to survive because there was just too much verbal abuse. I didn't have the tools to handle what I already knew. And it broke my heart that if Black people and white people and Puerto Ricans knew that without looking at what you see on the surface, how amazing we are and how much common we have, then we would realize that it ain't about the Puerto Ricans, it ain't about the Blacks, it ain't about the whites. It's about loving the human race like the Bible says. The Bible says, judge not, ye not. And the, you know, and I'm this is about you, but I just feel for you, and I just want to thank you. I want to thank you to just admit that, you know, and it was so cool because all my sister friends, all my Black friends go, Lynn, you're one of us and we love you. And they gave me the confidence to love who I was, and we're going to protect you. And I loved that, but I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better because I was on the wrong side of the tracks. So I want to give
that's
you,
funny.
you know, yeah. So,
but you know what? So with you, Tonya, like Lynn made a really good point. You listen, you're the color of your skin is the color of your skin.
Yeah.
You have had obstacles. I know. I would love for you to just share with everyone listening. Tell us about you and your life and what you've gone through.
Okay. Well, did you have a question, Lynn?
No, I just want to say my heart's going to be with you because I guarantee that what she says and what she feels is going to be ×2 on this stage. So you got the floor, my sister.
All right, baby. Thank you. So, born and raised in this city, I'm going to say the city because it needs to be said, Circleville, Ohio. We're best known for the pumpkin show, you know, the biggest pumpkin in the world, biggest pumpkin pie, all that. So, as growing up, I didn't see Black and white. I was never raised to see Black and white. It was, that's your friend. Never got to say, you know, because you're white, you can't come over. But because I was Black, I couldn't go over there. The things that I'm going to talk about now are issues that's happened to me of recent. So I went to school, and the reason I went to school was because of my son, Trey, who's autistic. And I wanted to understand, as a human services technician or human services person, service coordinator, what it is for autistic and special needs kids. So I went to school and got my degree as a bachelor's in human services. From there, I thought, well, I'm equipped. I'll be able to go into the field and get a job here locally. That didn't happen. Applied for several, didn't happen. So then I went back to school because I said, well, I'll just open up my own business and go from there. So I went back, got my master's in business, and started to look for jobs that were human services as well as business. Applied for 3 jobs here in town. Never got a reply, a response, a letter, anything. So then I said, okay, I'll fix you all. I'll go back and get another degree. So I'll go back and get my master's degree in education, which I graduate the 30th of April. And I applied for a job at our local human services agency. I went in after I had applied for this job, and not saying that I was the only one qualified, but the person that they hired when I came to the front desk was a person from the bank, a bank that I knew that she came from because I've seen her there. And I questioned, how is it that this person that works at a bank got the job over somebody that had more skill or education? So after that, I eventually started dealing with the mayor and the mayor's office, diversity and inclusion. And he made the big mistake and asked me, you know, it was during the George Floyd time, and he made a mistake. And I said, you know, I may not physically be out there picketing Black Lives Matter or anything about Black lives, but I am Black. And this county and this city has put your knee on my neck because I'm not able to get a position here and I'm qualified, but you'll hire somebody from a bank. And I told him, I just was blunt. This is not cool. I said, it's not just me. There are other people in our city that are Black that have educations that can't get ahead because our city will not accept that Black person being in a position of power or strength because you want to keep them down in a certain spot.
Tanya.
Yeah.
Your mic is picking up other noises too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
It'll affect our podcast later, but you're good. Just
okay. I'm pecking on the table. My bad.
Yeah. That's coming up on the mic too, but go for it.
Okay.
Go ahead, honey. Yeah.
But I think that because, my mom and dad, my dad built houses. His name was well known. He did concrete. And they know my family as, Force Lowe's kids. They look at us, those are them Lowe kids. They know each and every one of us. They'll say, oh, you must be sisters. You're the Lowe kids. That's a good thing. But not because of who we are, but because we are Black, we're not able to be in a position of power or any kind of strength or any type of just because of the education we have. I have a sister that's a CPA. And she's applied for jobs and been denied here in town because she's Black. And everybody knows it. But to let them know that, she's qualified, they didn't look at the qualification. They looked at who she was. And that's what we're coming up against either Puerto Rican. And there are some Caucasian people, I'll say white people, that apply for jobs. And they may not look like Miss Fabulous, but they're qualified.
Right.
But they still don't get the position. So I can't say it's all Black, but from my experience, it's Black. Because I know that, at my age, they'll probably think, oh, she's too old to do this. You know what? I run around with kids all day long. That's what I do. Right now, I happen, by the grace of God, every day I drive past the place that I work at now, and I would claim it. Lord, that's my job. I'm going to work in that building. That's going to be my position. My son got tired of me. I'm like, we got to ride by here. He's like, Mom, we got to go that way. I'm like, we got to go that way because I got to talk about that. And I just drive by, I'm like, Lord, I thank you for that job in that building. And then it became mine. And
oh my gosh. Is this a perfect testament to manifestation, prayer, power of positive thinking, and the words that come out of your mouth?
Henry Ford says, if you think, you'll be, now all of a sudden the quote gets from me, but whatever you think, you're always right. You're always right.
Yeah.
So watch the tongue is mightier than the sword.
Right.
And I don't know if you guys believe in people being prophetic over you, but I was told that sometimes when I speak things, I have to be careful what I say because it will come true. It will come to pass. And if you put it in the air and you put it in the air, not telling everybody's not your friend about stuff you say because they'll be like, oh, that girl, I'll make sure she don't need to be there. And then they get jealous. They put all that jealous tone in the atmosphere, all that crazy in the atmosphere, and it blocks what you want.
Right.
It blocks what you try to get. So you don't tell everybody.
It doesn't block. It's just an obstacle. I mean, you'll still get it. They can't stop you, but you have to go around the block. If you got a bully right here, you say, okay, bully, I see you there. I'm going to go around the block. It might take a little longer, but your will, thy be done. Your will, thy be done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm hearing too? I think that there's a couple things that I'm taking from what you're talking to us about, Tonya. One is, if you don't think that racism is real, it is real.
Very much.
And if you don't think it's real, well, good for you that you're not in a position that you feel it. But just because you don't feel it, it doesn't mean it isn't there. And secondly, I love the fact that you, Tonya, said, I'm going to go get me an education. And it didn't matter the age, because age, in my opinion, is just a silly little number that holds people back. And you said, what? I'm going to go get my education. And then you did it.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you first went back to college?
I was 49.
See, there you go.
You go, girl. You go, girl.
And I did it, like I said, for my son, wanting to make sure that I was equipped. When I went to the table to speak to somebody about my son, I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was talking about, that they couldn't trick me into saying, well, we're going to do this for Trey and this for Trey, and then I not be aware of actually what they were saying.
Right.
I wanted to educate myself that way. So.
Yep. And so, you got so much wisdom. we'd like to ask you, what advice would you give other women?
Never give up. Never, ever. If somebody ever tells you, and I'm the type, I don't know, I'll tell you, I'm the type, you tell me no, I'll be like, oh, let me figure out how I'm going to do it. It's going to happen. So if you have a dream and a desire in your heart, and you've prayed about it and you've fasted about it, and I know I'm going spiritual, but I know if you've done all you can to make sure that is true to yourself, what you want to do it. I don't care if you're 58 like me, going to school, finishing up. I don't care if you're 48, whatever. Get what you got to get right now. It's never too late.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I love that. And I want to read, Debbie, you want to read this? I don't know what all Paul is saying here, but let's go with
sure.
it.
Oh, wow. So Paul Putnam, thanks for joining us. I was playing poker live and the subject came up where a black man was hating on a Puerto Rican and women who said that she was black. Then another black man started hating on the other black and wanted to fight each other. I tried to tell these people, you're creating God's image. We are all created equal. And when your Bible says to love your neighbor as yourself, that means wherever you're standing on the planet is your neighbor.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
thanks
that.
so
But
much.
again, why in this world do I have to tell somebody, yo, I'm Puerto Rican, to either feel safe among Black people or to feel stand up for Black people and Latinos and all these other things? I mean, and then you got things like my dad came to Montana where I'm at, and he came to visit, and he was living in Puerto Rico. He had a Puerto Rican driver's license. TSA said, "Where's your passport?" I said, "He doesn't need a passport."
Right.
And this is back in 2008. Okay. This is back a ways. And I go, my dad's like, Lynn, no. I said, no, Dad, hold on. They had to ask every one of the TSA people did not know that Puerto Rico was a part of the United States.
Oh, for the heavens.
I said, are you freaking kidding me? You didn't learn this in first day of TSA class? My dad's like, Lynn. I go, no, Dad, they don't treat you like that.
One thing we know for sure, women who have been, listen, Lynn will tell you just like it is. And Tonya, one of the things that, hi, Linda, one of the things I loved about you when I first met you was you just say it like it is. And that's refreshing to me, because in a world where you're not really sure what people say is really genuine, I just feel that genuineness from you. And, yeah, it's so real. And,
but, just to let you know, Debbie, I had for so long wanted to be in a corner and nobody see me, kind of thing. Like, no, I'm not going to do it. Let me not make a wave. Right now, I don't care, because it's the fact of the matter is I'm not going to stay back there because you want me back there. I'm going to come out, and I'm going to come out blazing, both barrels. I'm coming out, and I'm going to do the best I can. And if I can affect a change in a woman's life or promote her or give her the things that assist her to be better, I'm there for it.
Yeah.
And I love it.
And you know why, Tonya? It's because we sometimes, when we were younger, we didn't know how to defend ourselves.
Yes.
But then we get to a point where we know we speak now our truth, and we speak out loud because somebody had the kahunas to be bald enough to stand up for us when we didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
God was lifting us up when we didn't have the courage. Mm-hmm. But then we get that liquid courage, and then we say, you know what? You ain't putting no baby in the corner. They're coming forward.
Right.
And, and that's where we're at. And that's why, and I made purposely, and I'm going to call this right now. I made purposely for this lady not to tell you all the amazing things she's going to do. This is the first of many times that we will highlight this woman for many things that she's going to write a book that's just going to be wow. She's going to do things that I even wrote my book in 3 weeks. I was on one of my shows April 15th, and I was getting ready to go back east, and I said I was going to write my book. I published it myself on Amazon, the whole 9 yards. And I'll tell you what, ain't nothing, no one was going to stop me, and nobody did.
That's right.
When it's done is done. So you're going to have some amazing books out, and people need to watch out for you because you are mighty with your beautiful voice.
Listen, she has so much story and history to share. Let's see. Linda says, what about what they want to do now with the TSA? They don't offend people. What the heck? Yeah, I know.
That's a different show. We ain't wasting our time with that.
But I do want to say that what everything that I learned about Tonya when she presented at the Sisterhood Luncheon was, I mean, like everything that she shared today is completely different than what she shared before. I mean, you guys, she's a wealth of wisdom and knowledge. And so we definitely need to have you back on when you can share even more. And even after you graduate, because April 30th is a big day. So, wow, we're going to be cheering for you.
Whoa, what happens that day? I'm out of the loop here.
Oh, no, she said earlier she graduates with her,
I thought
other degree.
her other degree. I was going to say she already graduated, but
Yeah.
I wasn't listening. I apologize. She has another degree.
Yeah.
And what's that? And the other degree is going to be
A Master's of Education.
Yeah, can you?
Oh, you gave me chills with that, girl.
I'm really proud of you.
And I can see your
baby in the
PhD.
corner.
I can see your PhD coming down the road too.
I don't know about that.
No,
That's a lot.
Listen. The thing is that when you start feeding everybody with your wisdom and where you come from and the light you are, you can get an American Achievement Award. I mean, you can get a doctorate for just being who you are. So yeah, no, you're gonna be you got this, sister. You got this.
I want her to sing all of her responses from here.
Are
Are you an a cappella woman?
I've sang a cappella before, but no, we're not singing today, Debbie. We talked about this.
You can, yeah.
Don't put her on the spot like that.
I know. I can't help it, Debbie.
No, because
I'm
Debbie,
greedy. I want more.
Debbie, you don't need to do that because when we leave, I'm gonna play the outro again. So I got us covered.
Well, Tonya, I got to tell you, I listen to that little clip I have all the time, and every single time it gives me. And you know what it is too? It's the fact that I know the person behind the voice. And you told your story and then you sang and I literally was crying. And then it was like a whole flood of emotions. Singing is a gift. My gosh, you've got a lot of them. And I'm telling you, we're going to sing that again.
You guys, this is only 15 seconds, but I got to do it right now.
Let's do it
you
again.
Guys got, look.
Oh,
You're gonna make me cry. It's so beautiful.
Crying because you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah, no, I know you are a beautiful soul, and I am blessed to Debbie. I'm so blessed to Debbie that she said I have somebody that we should interview. This is a window to a beautiful relationship. You got two sisters here that are gonna lift you up, show you out, and I'd be honored to produce a show for you someday. Be your producer to just have your own show. I sincerely mean that.
Oh, and she's entertaining.
Yes, she is.
You've gotten a little snippet of her
Look, you're in the UK right now.
Yeah, she's in the UK. Watching from the UK. Hi, Lawson. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, what a beautiful voice. Look at that.
You shine bright like a
diamond.
Everybody feels it. Everybody's gonna see this and love you just like we do.
Absolutely.
The only thing I can say is that God is in it, and with Him, it's all possible. There's no other way that I can say it. And everything in my life that He's brought me through, Debbie knows that part. That He's brought me through. Yeah. And
look at that amazing voice. Look at that.
Thanks, Robert.
You guys, I don't say it enough, and I should as a producer, but you guys need to share this out because
this
is like the one of many. She's gonna end up having like her own playlist on my show. I could see. I mean, on my YouTube channel, because you are just amazing, and nothing more refreshing than somebody so humble and so loving.
Real. She's just the real deal. I love that. Yeah. It's so great.
Hey, Debbie, I'm crying now. You're gonna ruin my eyeliner. Stop it.
Oh, you haven't. You know, and again, the fact that you're graduating in what? April's almost here, so May, just a month, a month away. I don't know. Is that far away for you to go for her graduation there?
Oh, I would totally.
It's virtual. I'm walking the stage virtually.
Oh,
because
gonna-
it's from Arizona. So
Oh, wonderful. That's
You know
super
what? Let's
awesome.
just say this again. Let's reiterate what Tonya said. A big message here that she's telling other women. And I believe in this wholeheartedly more now than I ever did. So what if you're 50? So what if you're 60? So what if you're 70? So what if you're 80? Listen,
Yes.
you are not dead. So do something.
let's get up. Get up.
I mean,
Spring
that's
it
the rough
forward.
way of saying it.
That's like spring is here. So we fall back in the fall. And that's like our lazy time because we get dark early.
Mhm.
So now we're in spring. Let's do something productive.
Yep.
Let's
And
spring it forward. Let's go.
Debbie, you want to read this from Paul?
Yeah, Paul Putnam. Even Sam Cooke sings about a change is coming. And one of my favorite songs, Amazing Voice. I don't know who that is, but
That's a friend of mine.
no, I mean
The
I don't know
the
who
Sam
that
Cooke.
is.
I don't
Sam
know.
Cooke? What do you mean you don't know Sam?
I
Sam?
don't.
What's wrong with you?
Well, you know something's wrong with me.
I know. You look at Google.
Linda told me that I was going to get kicked out if I eat my fried chicken with the fork and knife again.
Oh
So
my
you know
God.
something's wrong with me.
Fried chicken with oh my gosh.
Yeah, Linda.
We definitely have to get together so I can educate you on how you do things, Debbie.
I just got it started. I picked it up. I was just getting it started. But Linda looked at me and she goes,
You're trying to be all proper.
who are you? Where did you come from? No one eats fried chicken with a fork and knife. And I laughed so hard. I was like, well, I'm getting an education here.
Well, that's when you put that paper bib down in your shirt.
Yeah.
And you got your greens and it's all over your face, your macaroni and chicken, and you just have it. Just eat it.
She said, Linda says that's like eating pizza with a fork and knife.
Yes.
I know. Sorry, everybody. To disappoint you. I just was really getting the chicken started so I could really dig in there with my fingers. I promise. But it was the funniest thing because I didn't know anybody except the two women who had invited me. So this lady I'd never met was sitting next to me and she was like, don't tell me you were eating that fried chicken with a fork and knife. And I was just like, I laughed so hard. I was like, I'm not. I'm just getting started. Yeah.
So, the next event I'm having with my church is in August. So, Debbie, I'm going to send you that flyer. But when you come there, please don't do chicken with a fork.
Yeah, don't embarrass her.
Because because my sisters will be like, who is she? Where's she come from? So you don't want that.
They definitely would know you. That would be your first rodeo.
Yeah.
But I'll school them beforehand. I'll be like, leave her alone. No, she's just learning.
they're like, okay, she's new from here. She ain't.
Yeah.
So you want to?
She's not been around this for a while.
I know. And then somebody else said, well, how can it be finger licking good if you're going to eat it with a fork and knife? I was dying. I was like, you guys are so fun. I had the best time there.
I do use a bunch of napkins when I eat chicken though, because I don't like a mess on my hands. I don't know.
Princesses don't.
I know.
I mean, come on.
When I got married, I wore like a tiara thing on my head. So yeah, let's do it.
Well, of course.
I wear.
I'm shocked you don't have. Oh yes, it's
beautiful.
She's got one on now. It's just hiding underneath her hair a little bit.
Well, I know you're running out of time. Are you doing okay with time?
Yeah, I'm good. I have to. I don't even know what time it is.
It's 38 after.
Yeah, I got like 3 minutes.
Okay. Well,
3 minutes.
Well, that gives us enough time to say, everyone, please share this out. This is somebody that's up and rising and coming and coming out with her masters now. And, she's in their 50 Fabulous group and she's showing that she's alive and she's got a lot to do before she's done on this earth.
Got a lot to offer, a lot to share. Her beautiful light and her beautiful voice is God-given, and we're just so blessed to have you today. So with that, I think you need to just take your little princess behind and just shine your light for everybody today.
So without putting you in the spot, but I'm going to put you in the spot, would you be willing to come back and visit with us when things are just evolving in your life? We would be honored.
Oh, yes, by all means. Yes, this is an honor to be here because, like I said, sometimes you fear the unknown and sometimes you don't like to take that step. But when I'm encouraging a woman or encouraging anyone, that step, this is one of my steps that I was scared to do. And like I said, I called the sisters and be like, can I go? You think I should? And they were like, yeah, girl, it's a no-brainer. So I want to make sure that everybody, out of fear, even if you're scared, write down the pros and cons, do what you got to do to make it okay for you to do it. If you fail, get back up, do it again. It's not always been perfect for me. There are times that I've made mistakes.
Robert said, Tonya?
What,
see
baby?
what Robert said? He goes, Princess, hell, she's the queen.
I love you, Robert.
Yeah.
Goal, right?
Yeah.
The goal is to be the queen.
Well, let me tell you something. The fact is that you are an amazing soul and spirit, and that's what I keep asking God, is to bring people that are like-minded and want to lift this world, where people need to be shaken up and not stirred, but shaken up and woken up, because there's no time in the present to realize that we're never in prison. Even people in prison are not in prison. Your thoughts can bring you to anywhere you want to believe, if you believe. And so nobody can take that away from you. It's your mindset. It's okay, we all got to play these games. We're going to get these games. But when everybody's got a degree, or when everybody's been there, or hard knocks or whatever, it ain't about talking about that anymore. Yeah. It's about talking, how can we lift everybody else to realize that you are not defined by your past. You are not defined by your past. You're defined by what you choose to do today. Now, the problem being forward is there's still people stuck. What you didn't know what you were doing. They're stuck. And you and I see we're going to have a preaching session here.
You ain't lying.
People need to be woken up. And if it takes this to be.
Even when I went in one of my times away from Circleville, when I was in Canton, Ohio, I did a part in a play that was called, seriously, that was called.
Paul, no. Paul says it. He goes, and she can sing like an angel.
But I did a part. I did a part in a play and the part was Stuck in the Moment. And that cursed me for a while. That made me think that I couldn't do anything, that I was stuck there in that position and couldn't move, and it defined me. And it took a lot. So those women that somebody has spoke over you, or you've heard in your hearing, you can't do that, you can't make it, don't get stuck there.
That's right. Don't listen to that. What you do is you go, I stop and say, okay, I hear you. Thank you, but no thank you. Mm-hmm. You say stop. Yeah. Take a deep breath and you go on. Yeah. And so the thing is that you don't want to have that programming. We've been sitting here. We've probably been doing, our blood's flowing. We've been doing Kegels. We've been doing all sorts of stuff that just happens by itself. We don't, once you condition yourself to do something, then it's done. And so why not condition your mind and your thoughts to do and make it work for you? I could go on and on with you, but you know what? We're gonna stop. This is part one of probably 1,000.
Oh my gosh.
And one other thing, if we can't learn anything from Tonya today, can we please learn to love one another? Yes. Love yourself first so you can love other people. And please don't judge someone by the color of their skin, where they are from, or any of the rest. It's bringing more and more hate into the world. Love one another. Yes. And I love you, Tonya.
I love you too, baby.
I appreciate meeting you, just like Lynn does. And so God bless everybody, and let's love one another.
And I'm gonna end this with this note. I truly believe this to be true because I've witnessed it many times, and I want to leave you with this thought. For your own sake, all the poison you put out is the poison that's going to demise you.
Oh my God.
So if you want to just stop that for the sake of your own self, you're rightening everything you say. And I was a peace officer. Anything you say can and will be held against you, but it's like a boomerang. Yes. So if you do not have any kindness in your heart, that you have no kindness for yourself. Yes. Right. And at the end of your days, you will reap what you sow. Amen. So please, by all means, be kind. Even if you're a selfish, narcissistic person, be kind for yourself, because I'm telling you, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. I'm sorry. Had to say what I felt needed to be said.
Well, amen to that, sister.
Okay, so we're going to have a lot of topics to come. But anyways, I'm going to leave out with this beautiful angels singing one more time.
Everybody
Oh
wants
my
to hear it.
gosh.
Yeah, we
And
do.
Thank you
wait a
so
second.
much.
Look at this. Look at everybody saying amen. And they're
Amen.
just,
Aw.
they're loving you.
Share-
They're loving you.
Share the
So-
love and light.
So please share this again. This is going to be the third time in this that you get to hear the beautiful angels sing. So God bless
Beautiful.
everybody.
God
And we'll
bless.
see.
Love
Yep.
you too.
Love
Bye
you.
bye.
But here I stand.